Some students in Kwara State University have resorted to selling sperm and eggs as a means of survival under the current economic strain. Reports indicate that intermediaries often linked to medical personnel connect donors with buyers. Male donors reportedly receive between 30,000 naira and 50,000 naira, depending on negotiations. Female students face higher health risks, including infections, ovarian complications, and long-term fertility challenges. The development has drawn condemnation from stakeholders who warn that many students are unaware of the medical, psychological, and ethical consequences of their actions. At a sitting in Kwara State, House of Assembly described the practice as an unregulated trade spreading across institutions, including Kwara State University and the State Polytechnic. Lawmaker Rukayat Muturayo Shitu, who raised the alarm, urged the government to launch sensitization campaigns in schools to discourage students from engaging in the practice. She stressed that the trend, if unchecked, could create lasting health and social problems for young people in the state. I mean, we've come to the point where this has become an illicit trade. What are your thoughts on this report?
Well, we start by saying everyone is looking for a means of survival. So everyone is now looking for a way to make money, earn money, to make sure they're able to take ends meet. What do I mean by that? Everyone is now looking for a way on how to raise money for themselves. So if they've seen it as a way of making money for themselves, it's their business.
Notwithstanding the medical and health challenges that might occur in the future. I mean, since it's very unregulated, there are certain practices and certain actions that should be done before such things are taken into cognizance from the hospital especially. But because of this, this trade booming, do you think that because of lack of finances, as it were, students should engage in such actions?
Well, it is not really good for students to engage in such actions. But like I said, the nation is becoming difficult daily. And you see people hustling legally. The worst is that those hustling legally are the ones suffering more, because it looks as if nothing is working. So everyone is now looking for means to get this money, to make this money. At least if you don't have strength to work, you have a shortcut. You have a shortcut, a way you can easily get this money. And to them, this is the best way to get this money, by the men bringing their sperm and well, I will not say the men, the boys bringing their sperm, and the girls, their egg, mixing them together to. Then I would like to know, what are they? What is their aim?
The aim, whose aim exactly?
The children, the students. The students, rather.
They're selling it 30,000 to 50,000 so they can make some money.
To who exactly, please?
They're selling it to hospitals. To hospitals. And fertility centers that usually get this for their practice.
Well, I don't have much to say about it. All I can say is they're looking for a way of survival, a means of survival. Right. And to them, they feel this is the best way to survive.
When we look at the holistic picture of, this particular situation, given that, like the students have cited hardship as their reason, and you have come up to say that things are hard, especially for everybody. Oftentimes you beat the question to say, these children, do they have parents that send them to school? This money, is it for feeding? Is it for tuition? Because you know that the government did open up the federal government grant scheme where students are able to, get some monies to train themselves in the university. Now, holistically looking at this, how do you think as a people, as a society, how can we come in so this doesn't become a norm? A young girl that has given out most of her eggs in her most fertile and reproductive years is definitely going to go back to suffering some form of, fertility problem later in the future. Likewise, the boys. And for many of them, it seems they're, you know, just all about the money right now because they're underinformed. How do we go about bridging this gap so this doesn't become a societal disaster in the next few years?
Well, with what I said earlier, I'm not trying to say that what they are doing is actually good. It's not a good thing, but just like I said, maybe they are trying to make ends meet.
Right.
Secondly, maybe they are doing it just for them to have fun, you know, to catch fun, you know, as a young boy, as a young girl. There are things we need to do. We need to flex our life.
When did this become some form of fun? Is it something that was, you know, obtainable when you were in the university, where people do this for fun, to relax?
Well, while I was in school, I never heard of that. I never heard of this. I don't know if it was, if it was.
Was there hardship when you were in school?
Yes, there was.
Why didn't you join, or why wasn't this a prominent situation then, and why do we have it, you know, in such large prominence now?
Well, I will also say that then people's mindset and intentions were not up to that level then. They were not really exposed. Students then were not really exposed to these things. But this present, they are exposed. And that's why I said everyone is looking for. Now, people are now having different thinking faculty, different thinking mindsets. Somebody said to me the other day that when he smokes, there's this how? God help me. Let me remember what he said. That there is this oh, Holy Ghost. Yeah. He gets this vibe. Okay, let me use the word vibe. That he gets this vibe, and there's this thinking that comes to him.
Critical thinking.
Yes, critical thinking.
Right.
So it could be that to these persons too, they've sat down, they've taken these things, and they now feel, oh, enough vibe is coming to my head. When
they donate sperm and
yes, exactly. But they refuse to understand that. They refuse to understand that these things has an after effect. And like you asked, while we were in school, to me, I've never thought of this. I've never heard of this. That's why most times when I see some of these things, I become surprised. Not just because we don't undergo talks like this, or we don't go through talks like this, but we feel there are things that are necessary. But for this student, it is not necessary. But to them now, it is necessary because it's a means of making money. Just like I said, the legal way no longer pays well. It is the illegal way. And now you see the youths venturing into the illegal way to make money.
Right. Now, these hospitals that, you know, they usually carry out those practices, like, you know, the minister said they are not well regulated. Why do you think that is? For organizations that carry out, you know, procedures as delicate as this, it takes fertility clinics charge, you know, people looking to have children lots and lots of money to, you know, help them get pregnant through several means, IVF and what have you. Why do you think this clinics or these hospitals or this practice, as it were, why do you think it has been left unregulated and not checked?
I will start by saying that I feel in some of these clinics it is not being regulated and checked because the personnel who are involved, when I mean the personnel, the doctors, the nurses, right, they are also the one encouraging these things. They are the ones, you know, when someone comes to them.
But we do have a Ministry of Health.
Yes.
We do have, our ministries are supposed to be having checks and balances on organizations that are registered under their pedestal.
You see, I'm trying as much as I can not to bring in the issue of Nigeria into this matter. But I don't just want to go into the aspect of the Ministry of Health.
Oh, so but of course, they are under a pedestal. An institution or hospital cannot. It's a health facility. Yeah. It's not a mama put joint. It's a health facility, as it's where people come there for, you know, health needs. I'm trying to get pregnant. I and my partner, we are not able to conceive. I'm here for this health practitioners that are nuanced in this subject matter to help me get pregnant. Right, you're with me.
Yeah.
Now, that organization cannot function as a single entity. It belongs to the larger framework of what Nigerian medicine is about. Why do you think the checks and balances of this places are being well done?
That's because the Ministry of Health, they failed in their duties. Yes, they failed in their duties. They failed to really go through these things and know what should be done and things to be carried out. And you see, they bring in doctors and nurses without examining them very well. Some of these doctors and nurses, they are the ones giving these youths more reason to do it. You know, by the time they don't even care about how old the person is or how young the person is. Just bring it, let's do it. For the fact that there is someone who is ready to pay us in millions. Let it just produce a baby, let the person carry and pay us in millions. So they are now ready to do business. They call it business, cool business. So you see, the Ministry of Health does not care about these things. I don't know. I don't want to feel. I don't want to think that they are aware of these things. Let's just assume that they don't know about it. Because if they know about these things and they refuse to act towards it, then let me keep what I want to say.
Thank you so much for your insight on that report.